So this story is another story from storyweaver.org.in, and the title of today's story is How Far is Far. Author is Sukanya Sinha and illustrator is Vishnu M. Nayyar. It's a level 3 storybook from the website, and it talks about comparing the distances. Sometimes we say a little bit or a little too much, but then we don't know how exactly to compare. So the story tells a little bit more about that. So the first step of the ladder, if you see, is smaller than the second one, which is still smaller than the third one, and the fourth one is still more steep, more bigger a climb, and so on, right? So that's relative. But then how much is? Today we will climb up a ladder together. It is a rather unusual ladder. In this ladder, the distance between the rungs gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you climb up the steps, growing 10 times at each step. So from 1 to 10 to 100. Sometimes we will climb one step at a time. At other times, we will skip many steps at one go. The funny thing is that we are not even sure which the last step is or whether the steps go on forever. Okay, so let's find out what this is all about. Let the exciting journey begin. Okay, so the step 0 is 1 meter. What do a 5-year-old boy, a cricket bat, and a newborn baby elephant have in common? All of them have a height of about 1 meter or 1 m. M is short for meter. It would be awkward to say that the ceiling of a room is 3 baby elephants high. So we make the sensible choice of saying that the height of the ceiling is 3 meters. You know 1 feet when we measure 1 foot. It was actually the measure of a grown man's adult's foot. So the leg, the foot, the heel, from toe to heel is 1 feet usually, 1 foot. So if we have to, but that's how that measurement started. Another one in the ISI system is meter, SI system. So normally the height of the room in our houses is 9 to 10 feet, 10 feet or so. So that's approximately 3 meters. So now if we have to think about 10 meters. Now that you have a feel for the size of 1 meter, we are ready to climb to the next step of our ladder at 10 meter. A 3-story building or a mango tree is roughly 10 meters high. Okay, so 1 story is 3 meters and then there is some construction of the roof in between. So 3-story house is 10 meters or a mango tree, and a cricket pitch is about twice that length. So when 2 batsmen run across the pitch to score a run, that's almost 20 meters. Can you think of other objects that are about 10 meter long or high? So if we think in terms of wide, see there is a pitch, cricket pitch, and on that a 3-story house is lying flat, upside tilted, and so is a mango tree. So that all adds up to 10 meter, and together they make almost a pitch. Now if we have to think of a 10 times longer space, so we think of 100 meters. Have you noticed that with every step we add a 0 to the right of the number? You know that, you are bigger kids. We had before, and the step number matches the number of zeros. Keep track of that as we climb along. You see in pink, in the left hand side bottom corner, there is a pink line, pink arrow showing 100 meters, right? So we are climbing the stair. We are at 100 meter now. If you run the 100-meter race on school sports day or watched sprinters do it on TV, you know exactly how far that is. Now imagine if the 100-meter track stood up. See, it's drawn here. Standing up 100-meter track. That would be about the height of 2 Gol Gumbads. Gol Gumbaz in Bijapur, Karnataka is the tomb of Muhammad Adil Shah. When it was built in 1656, it had the largest dome in the world. It held the record until 1881. After even more than 200 years, it was the largest dome in the world. So one of that building is almost 50 meters high. So two of them put on top of each other would be 100 meters in total, right? Okay, so now we go to the step 3 of the ladder, and that would be another 0 added, 1000 meters. So 1000 meters has a special name. It is called 1 kilometers or 1 km. You would cover this distance if you ran the 100-meter race 10 times. That would be tiring, right? You would need to climb about 9 kilometers to reach the top of the Mount Everest. So Mount Everest is the highest mountain, and it's almost 9 kilometers to reach to the top, slanting. Okay, so now let's skip 2 steps and go to step 6. So we had 3 zeros earlier, 4 zeros, and now we have skipped 2 steps. So we are at step 6 with 6 zeros to the right of 1. The distance from the northern tip of India in Kashmir to the southern tip of Kanyakumari is about 4 times this distance, or 4 times of, well, 4,000 kilometers. So we just reduce the number of zeros. When we go from meter to kilometers, is 1000-fold, right? So instead of saying 4,000 meters, we can say 4,000 kilometers. So this is our country. So from north to south, tip to tip, if we go, it's almost 4,000 kilometers. And now we are at the step 6, counting 1,000 kilometers. Okay, so we are at the next step now. At the step 8, we skipped another step here. How far away is the bright, beautiful moon? It is right there on the 8th step of our distance ladder at about 4 times the 400,000 kilometers away from the earth. 400,000 kilometers away from the earth. Wow, that's very far, and our ladder is still going further way up. Oh, wow, where is it going? Let us skip 2 more steps and race to the blazing hot sun. How far away is it? It is about 500,000. That is very, very far away indeed. But the far, far away sun still lights up the world. So the heat still reaches us, the light and the heat still reaches us from all that distance and makes us sweat in summer. Amazing, isn't it? So how do we read it? 5 crore kilometers. Wow. Now we are on the last step of the ladder of this ladder. Is there a last step on the ladder? We don't know yet. But with powerful telescopes, scientists have been able to see way beyond the sun. The farthest object that they have been able to spot is on the 26th step. I cannot count that. 26th step means 26 zeros after 1 meter away. That is seriously far. Maybe when you grow up, you can discover something even further away on the 28th or 29th step. Isn't that an exciting thought? I think it's amazing. See? So this boy who is 1 meter tall with an elephant, baby elephant 1 meter tall, is looking at the sky to see how far away can he see. Okay, so we can do a fun activity. The following activity done in a classroom setting is a great way to give children a feel for large distances and can engage the children either in a single group or in teams. Ask the children to cut long strips, each about an inch wide, from old newspapers. So a newspaper when opened is a little bit longer than 1 meter, I think. So you can cut a strip like a ruler, which is 1 inch wide. Now, if we stick the strip end to end with tape or glue, we can make longer strips until we get a strip that is 1 meter long. Oh, that would be in one go, I think. We can make even longer. Now ask the children to use this 1 meter long strip as a measure and make 10 similar strips and stick them end to end to make a 10 meter long strip. Okay, now this is fun. They can lie down next to the strip head to head and feet to feet and see how many of them it takes to make 10 meter. So you guys might be 1.5 meters or so each approximately. They can then stick 10 meter strips together to make 100 meter strip that goes around the classroom many times. And then what about a 1 kilometer strip? Now that would be too many newspaper. Maybe we can skip that. Okay. Maybe we can skip this. So that was